Hey there, Richard Matharoo here. Now, if you're a network marketer, you're probably aware and have seen everybody talking about branding. Building a brand is really important, but how can you do that when you're brand new and you don't even have any marketing or technical abilities? Well, I'm going to teach you in 4 steps how you can build a powerful brand that attracts and draws people to you and your network marketing business in this very video. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. So I believe that the first, not mistake, but misconception that we make as network marketers, I know I did this when I first got started, was I've got to be super successful in order to build any level of brand, right? I mean, I just imagine people would watch my content and go, well, why would I listen to you? You're not making $1 million, and all these people are. You've out-sponsored hundreds of people. I mean, thankfully I have now, but back then I hadn't sponsored anybody. So why would someone listen to me? Why would they listen to you? Because you probably think they're going to compare you to everybody else. And that's just not true. There's so much value being missed out on in our industry because people think, well, I don't really want to raise my hand and go build a brand because I don't have the results to justify it. What do you think is going to be beneficial to the audience of people that you're going to serve? Right? There's many different things. My target audience, and I recommend you have a target audience for sure, is existing network marketers. Now that I've generated over £1 million in sales and sponsored hundreds of people, of course people want to pay attention. But back when I first started, when I sponsored my very first team member, imagine how many people in network marketing never even get to that point. You don't think that it would be an enviable position to be in, or a really desirable position? Someone says, yeah, I want to know how to sign up my first team member. So when I realized that, I started creating content around those basics. How to set up the basics of a Facebook page. How to sign up your first team member. The correct way to make a warm market list. 3 methods that you could consider to generating cold leads. I didn't have massive results in any of these, but the important part was I was one single step ahead of my audience. Now, step number 2, if you look at your previous experience in areas outside of network marketing, I bet you could draw upon some results that you've created or even some failures that have occurred, and you could share the lesson within that to really serve your audience well. It's just one step ahead. It's one story, one experience, one success, one failure, but they haven't had it, and you can help navigate them through that process, and it's going to be desirable to them. So step number 2 is to look at the experience that you've got, and if you haven't got it, well, you can use the internet nowadays, like you're doing right now, to gain new information. After watching this video, could you not create another version of your own wording that say, hey, how to grow a brand when you're brand new? You could watch this video, you could take my pointers, you could make them your own, use your own language so you're not just plagiarizing, right? And then you could serve that to an existing audience or a new audience that you want to serve. They would pay attention to that. And with consistency, you're going to build a following. Step number 3 is to educate or entertain. I'm not really an entertaining guy, right? My sense of humor is quite sarcastic, quite dry. It doesn't come across that well often on video, so I don't really try and drop in loads of jokes, or I don't do anything fancy. I sit here in my office and I teach you something of value. So this misconception that I need to do something flamboyant, I need to be living an amazing life, I need to be funny or super attractive or all these, I don't do any of those things, right? And I have a great following, a loyal following, and I've built a business through a brand starting from scratch. So if you can find something of value that when someone has watched your video, they say, I feel better for watching that. Either they're inspired or they're lifted up, or if you are entertaining, hey, go for it. But if you can at least give them something that says, after watching your short video, you know what, that is useful to me in some way, then they will come back and they'll bring their friends, family, or connections, whoever will, because they want to recommend what you do. So be good at educating and adding value, and don't worry about all the flamboyancy that you think you may need to have. You just don't need it. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is lead the way. all of this underpins your action, right? It's underpinned by your action. If you want to be able to create the stories that put you one step ahead, the results or failures that put you one step ahead, you need to be taking the action that your audience is going to be asked to partake in your content. See, I really highly advise you to pick a group of people that you have things in common with. For example, when I first started creating content, I was a failing network marketer. So I wanted to serve those other failing network marketers at the very beginning with the failures that I'd made. I said, hey, I tried this, it didn't work, now you don't have to make that mistake. I don't particularly have all the answers back then, but at least I had something I could save some time and pain for a group of people. And that came about by me taking action. I realized I wanted to use online marketing because I tried offline marketing and related and documented my experiences. When I generated my first lead, I documented and taught that experience. And that all came about from me being in the field, taking action, and that's still what occurs today. So you're going to create stories, experiences, things that your audience can relate to, results, failures, great content that will allow you to build a brand by going and taking action and leading the way. And when you do lead the way, you take that one first step, that's something that puts you ahead of all the rest of that audience and they wish they could be as brave as you. It positions you as a leader instantly. So don't worry about all this complication. You literally have to go and create content that will serve your audience well. It's so easy to do these days. You can put a video on Facebook, you can put a video on YouTube, you can create a podcast, even in your social media posts. You know how to do that stuff already. You're here watching a video on YouTube, or you clicked on a social media post to find this, so you're competent in the technical aspects. All we need to do is put these 4 steps into that process, and with consistency, I think you're going to be really, really happy with the brand that you create and the results that it brings and people that it brings into your life as well. Now, if you want to know how you can kind of take the next step as a network marketer, I'd love to give you a free web class. This is how I sign up 30 to 50 brand new team members with predictability in only 45 minutes a day. That's the truth. You can see my results. It's all documented on that web class. I'll even give you a free success strategy workbook for your attendance. You can find out all about that and register at richardmatharoo.com/YouTube. You'll see that at the bottom of your screen. It's entirely free. Click that link, enter the information, and you'll be sent a free access link to a time and date that you choose. As always, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires and excuses. I'm looking forward to seeing your positive and performing brand. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.